100 years before the Battle of Yavin, Darth Bane's lineage and rule of two endures. A stranger with a red lightsaber was discovered to have been training an acolyte. This stranger claims to have no name, but admits that the Jedi may call him Sith. The stranger posed as a friend and ally under the alias of Qimir to the acolyte, aiding her in the mission to kill 4 Jedi Masters who were guilty of interfering with his true master's designs. As it would turn out, the stranger is implied to be the apprentice of Darth Plagueis, who was revealed in the TV series. Seemingly, Darth Plagueis is the reason the Witch Coven on Brendok was able to create life in the form of the twins, Ursha and May. Darth Plagueis was likely invested in the girl's future, and the ascension their coven spoke of was likely something to do with Plagueis. Perhaps they made a deal with Plagueis, where they keep one child and he takes the other. However, that's just my speculation. With Plagueis being invested in these girls' future, it is likely he did not look kindly upon the Jedi interference. As such, the stranger was then likely taken as apprentice around this time. What we know is that the stranger was once a Padawan to Jedi Master Vernestra. He confesses that he was stabbed in the back and pushed aside. What exactly happened between them is something we're yet to find out, but it would seem that the scars on his back may have been caused by Vernestra's lightsaber whip. This would have been an excruciatingly painful ordeal. It is clear that Plagueis adopted him as his apprentice, or perhaps just minion, as the rule of two states that there can only be one true master and one true apprentice. Minions and disciples may be given tastes of the dark side's strength, but they would never be allowed to flourish or become a rival. It is likely that Darth Plagueis instructed the stranger to look over and train the twin known as May. In time, she would be sent to kill the 4 Jedi Masters who interfered on Brendok. The stranger instructed that she do this without a weapon, implying that in doing so, the acolyte will kill the dream.
An acolyte kills without a weapon. An acolyte kills the dream.
This phrase is believed to be aimed at the Jedi and the House of Glass they live inside of. It aims to expose the Jedi as the oppressors of the galaxy. I believe the purpose of this mission, in the eyes of the stranger, was to have May fully embrace the dark side by taking revenge upon those who wronged her and killed her mother. Completing the mission would mean she accepts the dark side in her heart, and to kill without a weapon was for her to discover that the dark side was her true weapon, and she must become its master. However, his acolyte betrays him even after killing 2 masters already. When they come to the world of Kurfar, she opts to turn herself in and reunite with her sister, Ursha. But it was not to be. Qimir was actually the stranger the entire time, so once May leaves him, he cuts himself down and speeds to the target faster than she ever could. He slaughters the Wookiee Jedi in his homestead before a team of Jedi arrive, who are investigating the murders committed by May. When the Jedi team arrives, he appears from the shadows behind them, hovering into the area from the treetops, already proving his power and the Force to be formidable. When the Jedi entourage lunge for him, he simply throws Ursha around like a ragdoll and then uses a Force wave attack to blast the Jedi away. The stranger then proceeds to attack the Jedi head-on, despite being vastly outnumbered. One Sith Lord against many Jedi. He was able to take the advantage by throwing them off guard with his wild fighting style, which is named Trakata. On top of this, he wore a helmet with a facade that would invoke fear into his opponents and would also unbalance them. The helmet was made from a metal known as cortosis, the same type of metal that Darth Bane once mined in the quarries of Apotros some 900 years ago. The stranger used the metal to craft his helmet and vambrace. Not only would it be incredibly durable, but it would also resist the strike of a lightsaber. In addition to these great features, it was also able to short out a lightsaber crystal, causing the blade to malfunction for a short time. stranger used this to his full advantage in his fight with the Jedi, using the helmet to headbutt and shut off lightsabers, also whacking other Jedi blades with his vambrace, causing the same thing to happen. This frenzied fighting style allowed him to quickly kill most of the Jedi without much hassle. Before he has the chance to kill Jedi Knight Yord, the twin Ursha attempts to stun the stranger, but it fails. Drawing his attention, he begins to chase Ursha and throw his lightsaber for a killing blow. His reasons for doing this are unclear. Perhaps he believed her to be a threat to his existence. Jedi Master Sol intervenes, however, and deflects the lightsaber throw, saving Ursha's life. In this scene, it is revealed that the stranger somehow knows Master Sol from the past, which references the fact that he once studied under Vernestra, who is a close friend to Master Sol, so it's likely they met when the stranger was a Padawan. Master Sol says he senses something familiar.
You don't remember me.
I sense something familiar.
During their fight, Master Sol asks the stranger why he hides his face. The stranger confesses to the Jedi that his helmet is in play to stop him reading his thoughts. Another benefit of the Cortosis helmet, a sensory deprivation barrier.
Show your face.
And let you read my thoughts. No.
Underneath the helmet, vision was limited to a small slit in the front. The stranger's entire fight had been done so with nothing but pure instinct and connection to the Force. After taking the advantage in battle, the stranger disappears and redirects for the twin May who betrayed him. As he arrives to take care of her, the Jedi Padawan Jeki finds herself face to face with a Sith. Using Kelnaka's lightsaber and her own, she puts up a good fight, until the stranger destroys the Wookiee's former weapon and once again disappears to chase down May. When he catches up, he explains that crossing him was a bad idea. Before he can strike the definitive blow, Master Sol and Jeki intervene and almost catch the stranger off guard. Together, they complement each other's fighting style and take an advantage against the red saber wielder, but in the end he was able to catch the Padawan off guard with his removable Shoto saber from the hilt of his actual lightsaber. A crude and cunning tactic, one employed by users of the dark side of the Force. Before her death, Jeki was able to knock off the stranger's helmet, revealing him to be Qimir. Whether this is his real name or just a fake one is unknown. All we do know is that he already claims to have no name, so unless Vernestra name drops it, it is likely we won't find out. It is at this time that the stranger reveals that the Jedi may call someone like him Sith. When questioned about why risk discovery, he further reveals that the Jedi say he can't exist, meaning he has to kill everyone who has seen him, which strongly implies that he is connected to the Sith. So if you had doubts about this, you should put them to rest now, while explaining that he seeks the freedom to be himself without the Jedi saying otherwise. Jedi Knight Yord picks up the Cortosis helmet and attacks the stranger from behind.
You. Surprise.
Yord was able to short out the stranger's weapon before it impaled him in the face. Shocked to see the identity of the stranger as Qimir, Yord lets his guard down and the stranger simply moves position and breaks the Jedi's neck, tossing his corpse to the nearby bushes. After seeing two of his peers die right in front of him, Master Sol attacks the stranger and almost kills him. Had Ursha not intervened, the threat he posed would have ended there and then. However, Master Sol allows him to regain his footing Ursha then plants an illuminated device on his back and watches as the Umbra Moths that took up accommodation nearby swooped in to collect their shiny prize. Finding himself carried away from the battle, he had to rush his way back if he had any hope of killing May for her crimes and the Jedi for witnessing him. He was too late though. May had taken Ursha's place in a bid to fool Master Sol into telling the truth and confessing his crimes. Ursha was left injured at the scene. The stranger finds Ursha laying there wounded, so he uses his power to heal her. Force healing. Force healing is a power reserved for those attuned to the light side of the Force. It is strange that he is able to do this, but it could be due to his previous Jedi training, but it's still not in continuity with the dark side. But I digress. Nonetheless, he heals her and decides to take her back to his secret hideout on an unknown world. It is revealed that inside his hideout there is a cortosis vein, implying the world could be Apotros or Baldamnik. If the stranger was mining his own cortosis, this would explain his muscular physique, as mining this metal requires intense labour. The metal can only be mined with brute force. When Ursha awakens, the stranger explains to her that she needs to be trained, and that the Jedi have wronged her and she deserves vengeance. She almost strikes him down with his own weapon, but then decides not to. The stranger continues to lure her to his side. He even allows her to try on his helmet. But when she does so, her latent power takes over and seizes his mind. Sensing that he is in danger, he rushes to take the helmet off of her. In this moment, he realizes that her potential is high and the dark side calls to her. In a bid to win her allegiance, he asks her what plan she wants to go with. She sees a vision of her sister on their homeworld of Brendok, so they decide to go there together to stop May from killing Master Sol. As they leave the unknown world, DARTH Plagueis is shown to be watching them from the shadows. This heavily implies what I was saying earlier, that the stranger is indeed the apprentice and Plagueis is the master. Ursha and May will be an asset he has investments in, but has not told his apprentice the whole truth about. The only alternative is that the stranger is a failed apprentice of Plagueis, and instead the Dark Lord watches as he plans to kill him. But this would not explain anything with the Coven or the Vergence seen on Brendok. It's likely Plagueis caused the Vergence himself, or at least had something to do with it. When the stranger and Ursha arrive on Brendok, the stranger's motives become otherwise. He leaves Ursha to find her sister and goes hunting for Master Sol himself. While the stranger faces Sol again, the sisters have their own confrontation, but it ends with May escaping. Master Sol was able to destroy the stranger's lightsaber, rendering it useless. He stood defeated until May blindsided Master Sol and takes his weapon from him. Stranger attempts to goad May into killing Sol, but she refused to submit, fearing to have Sol confess to his crimes and stand before the Senate. As Master Sol stands there and confesses to killing their mother, Ursha was nearby and overheard. After finally realizing she had been manipulated and lied to, she snapped and fell into the dark side, proving that a Jedi could be killed without a weapon when she force chokes the pathetic Jedi and watches the life drift from his eyes. With the three of them surviving, they decide that it's best May is left to be captured with her mind erased, and that Ursha and the stranger should leave together. The TV show does not do a great job at explaining the reason the stranger allowed this to happen. It is because the alternative was death. Remember, May betrayed him and she knows of his existence. He only needs one acolyte, and therefore, if Ursha goes with him, the other must die. This is why they came up with this compromise, as if May was killed, Ursha would have refused to train. This is where the story ends of the stranger for now. Let me know your thoughts on this character and your thoughts on the show overall. Thanks for watching this video. If you're interested in more stories, then be sure to look over my channel and subscribe. May the Force be with you.